radar. We may have some breaks, but this is going to be a wet game.
And you never know how this might work out. You get into a rainy situation. If Pottsboro, they run the ball a lot, so it's going to be hard to hang on to the pigskin. It's going to get a little heavy once that ball gets wet.
It's going to be hard to turn corners.
They run the ball almost 70% of the time, and when they do throw the ball, it's a two-step drop back, the quick release, and maybe a 5 or 10-yard curl route is what we're going to see. I watching the film, I rarely seen them go downfield deep. But mostly it's 5 or 10 yards on the pass play. But number 5, Major McBride, is going to be very hard to contain tonight.
He is a big running back, 210 pounds and 6'1".
He's averaging 223 yards a game compared to Cameron Williams with 202 per game.
Right.
So it's going to be tough for our defense tonight to contain him. But, hey, I tell you what, they pop everything out just off the tackle. And usually number 6, Caden Humphrey for Pottsboro, the quarterback, if he's going to run it, he's going to be right behind Major McBride. And they go right off the tackle. You might see number 12 come in, Kyle Trulock, at quarterback at times. Usually when he comes in, they're going to throw the ball. Every now and then they run off of him, but number 12 is going to throw the ball. And number 5, Major McBride, is going to be carrying the brunt force for Pottsboro because he is a beast. And we've got some other games going on from around the area that we're going to be keeping up with. If you want to go through some of them.
Right. We've got Fairview versus Grandview.
That's going to be the Zebras from Grandview. They're always ranked high. I think they're in the top 5 right now, maybe number 5 in state.
Right. Then another one we're going to be watching for, Maypearl at Malakoff. And then Gladewater is going to be taking on Mount Vernon.
Let's talk about that for a minute because Gladewater, at the beginning of the year, man, I didn't know what to think about Gladewater. They could not win a game. They were hanging with everybody. They were close, but they just couldn't get that win. And I think they went 0-6, 0-7 before they got that first win.
Right.
And now, they came in to get that number 3 spot in the district going up against Mount Vernon. So that's going to be a good one to keep an eye on too.
Right. I mean, they came in, they surprised Atlanta and beat them, and just snuck their way into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Going up against Mount Vernon, what Gladewater's got to do is just finish off their drives. They made mistakes against us, and it cost them drives, cost them points.
Who else was? The Atlanta Winsboro. Now, Winsboro, man, that's a beast right there. They were number 1 in that district. And, depending on what poll you look at, they're either number 2 or 3 in the state,
Right.
with Malakoff right behind him. And it looks, when you look at that bracket that we're in for this area, Winsboro, Malakoff, Grandview, it's going to be a test in this part of that bracket.
And we're just going to be watching these games. Not all of them are tonight. This is the Thursday night game. Most of these are going to take place tomorrow night. I don't have the schedule in front of me here about who's playing when, but I do have the bracket here. And, we want to watch some of these games. Like I say, Atlanta at Winsboro, Commerce at Tatum. And that game is going to be played in Allen.
Yeah, that was a strange one last week with Tatum and Atlanta. Atlanta coming up and just sneaking up on Tatum. I wasn't expecting to see that one.
Well, Atlanta is no slouch of a team.
That's right.
I know we put up a big number on them and such, but Atlanta. In fact, if you go back to August, Dave Campbell's Texas Football had picked Atlanta to win the district.
Yeah, that's right. So that tells you how much stock you could put in that. Those predictions aren't always accurate.
No, they're not. But it does give some teams a big head.
Yeah, going into
and
the season.
Other teams, it puts a chip on their shoulder.
That's right.
And but the main thing is, these are the playoffs now. There is no win or loss record to worry about. It might give you something as to how those teams played earlier, but this is the playoffs. It's win or go home.
It's there's 6 games left on our schedule.
That's right.
And tonight starts
that 6-game run that ends at Jerry World.
That's it. But let's talk a little bit about the year-to-date stats. So Tamias Taylor finished the regular season 95 of 162 for 1,833 yards, averaging 11.3 yards on his throws. So I was really impressed with Taylor this year in the passing game with the 4 main receivers that came out for the Bulldogs. You know, Chris Love, Jermaine Hopkins, Travis Gray, Ja'Kyrie Johnson even got a touchdown last week off a throw.
Yes.
So,
and none of them are seniors.
That's right, man. This team coming back, I don't want to jump ahead, but
this is a strong team this year. Next year, we are talking loaded.
Yeah. Cameron Williams, 189 attempts, rushing attempts for 1,786 yards, and he's averaging 9.4 yards a carry, with his longest coming on that 98-yard touchdown run a few weeks ago.
Right.
Chris Love, 28 receptions for 606 yards. Ja'Kyrie Johnson, 13 receptions with 228 yards. Jermaine Hopkins Jr., 25 receptions, 536 yards. And Travis Gray, 382 yards off of 21 receptions.
Jermaine Hopkins is one to watch out for anytime he gets the ball. He's a little kid, but he does not want to go down. He is doing everything he can to get to that end zone.
And, you know, on the defensive side of the ball, Chris Love has 4 interceptions on the season. Coben Tomlinson, 65 solo tackles. Judson Carter, 63. Joshua Biddle, 63. Keyshawn Whitaker, who's out tonight, had 38 solo tackles. And Alex Xavier Pryor has 45 solo tackles. So there's some guys contributing big time on the defensive side of the ball. Also special teams. Judson Carter, you know, he had a kickoff return and I think a punt return for a touchdown too.
Right.
So these, you know, there's weapons all over the field. Anytime them Bulldogs are out there, offense, even defense, you know, Daniel Smith, he's had a few interceptions too. He's had 5 interceptions, so he's done a good job. There's always an opportunity for the Bulldogs to score. And Greg, we've talked about this before. It don't take 10, 15 plays. They can score in one play.
Right.
And they've demonstrated that numerous times throughout this year.
Right. This Bulldogs offense is explosive.
So this is going to be a fun matchup tonight. You know, the weather's going to be the factor. We'll see what kind of effect it's going to have. You know, it's going to weight the ball down. It's going to affect the passing game. Those running backs are going to have to hang on tight, because any kind of pull or tug, that thing gets a little slippery. And
right. Putting the hat on the ball.
So turnovers tonight is going to be the key of the game. Who can minimize the turnovers on their side?
Minimize turnovers, minimize mistakes.
That's going to be it. So I tell you what, we're just about ready to go into the coach's show with Madeline Coyne interviewing Coach Jefferson. And once that is done, we'll be right back, and we'll go over the starting lineup. So go ahead and
get you ready for the kickoff.
Hey everybody, I'm Madeline Coyne with Bulldog TV, and this is your weekly pregame segment, Questions of Coach. Again, I am back with Jefferson ISD's Athletic Director, Antoine Jefferson.
Madeline, great to be on with you.
Good to be on with you.
Man, played 10 regular season games thus far. Wow.
The district is
done. It's gone really, really fast as you look back on it. You know, it's been some ups, been some downs. It's been
a lot of ups, though.
Yeah, been fun. You know, a lot of kids have really developed, and you know, it's good to see at the end of the season over at Sabine, see the crowd, but a lot of people show up, and
oh yeah, our
and man, did they not have a lot of seniors? Sabine halftime was really long because Sabine got a lot of seniors, but so it was good to see. It's always good to see those senior nights. You know, you kind of compare theirs to ours, and just
See
the
how
end of
many
the
we
season.
have.
Yeah, so
Or like who they have this many involved in football, this many involved in cheer. Like
exactly. So it's been a good fun time. Been a good show.
yeah.
And now we get to take it to the next level. So
Round 1 playoffs.
here we go.
Okay, so we're going to go over some stats from last week's game, the last district game against Sabine. We beat Sabine 56-21. Cameron Williams rushed for 166 yards on 27 carries. He ran and threw for a touchdown. Tomias Taylor completed 13 out of 18 passes for 285 yards and 4 touchdowns. Imran Bruce rushed for 2 touchdowns. Coben Tomlinson rushed for a touchdown. Travis Gray Jr. caught 2 touchdowns. Chris Love and Jakari Johnson each caught a touchdown. And Judson Carter and Chris Love each had 2 interceptions.
Well,
That's a lot of numbers.
Really kind of
Lot of
spread
numbers.
things around. We knew early on we were going to try to build around our offensive line, and that was going to include Cameron Williams running the football. But it's good to know at this point of the season, and throughout the season, we really develop a good passing game. We got some kids that have really stepped up in that area, and not just one of them. I know Chris Love is our leading receiver, but we have 9 guys that have caught at least a pass in a football game. So it says a lot, and Tomias does a great job of kind of spreading the ball around.
Okay. Obviously, we bounced back from the week before, which was our senior night, with a loss, and then to another big win like how we were doing. So what do you think it means to you, the team, to finish off district on that big of a win?
Well, it's just great for our guys to kind of put the week behind them and kind of get ready for the next week. And you didn't mention we are district co-champions.
I didn't mention that.
So it says a lot about our guys. But I think we're so young in some key areas. You got a combination of youth that at the end of the game they don't put it behind them anyway, and then we got enough good senior leadership where they know how important it is to always be looking forward. Just kind of that combination of those guys in the locker room has really done a good job of just keeping us focused on the task at hand, to be able to just go forward and to finish it off. And the way we finished the game, at the end of the game, we have 2 starters on the field on defense, and they have the ball. And their coach used all their timeouts trying to get in the end zone. And it was good that those kids took a lot of pride in, we got to keep them out the end zone, we got to keep them out. And they still have their starters in the game. We stopped them at the 2-yard line to keep them out. And I think those guys are going to be able to recall on that this week, because you never know how much they will have to play this week going into the playoffs. But to get that type of experience, late in a district playoff game, district regular season game, I think will go a long way in helping us.
I agree, and I feel like this coming week is going to be like tough competition, because you're getting the best from each districts all over the state competing against each other.
Yes, and then when you get out here in East Texas, the districts are really, really good. Week in and week out. I think going in, we're both going to have the same record. We both will play some really good competition. We were just going back and just looking at our non-district schedule. And 4 of the 5 teams are playoff teams. 2 of the 5 are district champions. So we play some really good people, and I'm sure Pottsboro has done the same. And we feel like going in. Everybody feel like going in. Anything can happen on a playoff game. It's definitely more so about matchups than your regular season games. Just how you match up with other people. But it'll be a fun night. Throughout the whole area.
I agree. Okay. So obviously we had a lot of dogs contribute last week's game. I said a lot of them on the stats. So who are the Bulldogs of the week from last week?
Justin Carter, senior safety. He's played outstanding all season. Chris Love, he's just a junior. He's been outstanding at receiver, and he also had 2 interceptions on Friday night as well. Travis Gray Jr., young freshman receiver, has continued to grow and make big plays for us. And then Cameron Williams, he's a guy that he just, he doesn't worry about what he did last week or the week before. One great thing about him, he always has a smile on his face, and he want to challenge himself to get better.
And he always
each and every
plays
week.
consistent.
He
He
does.
is when you you know he's going to score every game he plays in.
It does.
He has.
You know, and that's one thing we decided just going into the season where, you know, each week is a week of its own, you know, regardless of who was the player of the week last week. No, we're just looking at this week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you're the guy this week, you're the guy this week.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of the previous. But he's continued to work and to strive to just continue to get better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you give us a good visualization for what it's like for you, the other coaches, and all the boys of what it's like to be in the state playoffs?
Well, for our staff, just to you know, and I know it means a lot to our coaches just to be back-to-back district champions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a district that you look over the past 2 years, we've never been preseason favorite to win district. You know, I think this year, you know, I know we wasn't. We may pick fourth or whatever. You know, I think I said early on, I make a habit of not reading Dave Campbell's into the end of the year, but
yeah, you don't want to get ahead of yourself.
It's like
you're like, ooh, we're ranked first. We're gonna,
you know, and I just kind of remind our kids, nobody really knows the work that you put in, but the people in our locker room and your families. You know, it's hard to make judgments sitting in an office somewhere how you think Jefferson football is. You know, it's just hard to see. This state is just too big. But our guys, you know, our players, our coaches, everybody involved have really done a great job of, you know, just continue to raise their level of play. And regardless of what other people think about us, you know, no one has higher expectations than what we have for ourselves.
Oh, exactly. You can't.
And then just continue to strive and get better and a little bit better. And I think that's something that's really put our program just on a solid foundation because we're able to see our kids really grow. One of the great things about our district, are this small, you know, from the time our kids are in the 6th grade, we start playing 7-on-7. You know, so the coaches are kind of like, man, I can see him running good routes, or him defending a route or whatever. So we started at a young age being able to see, and not to mention our little league program. You know, it has to be one.
About 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it's got to be one of the best in the state. You know, so our little league coaches do a great job as well. And at that level, obviously we want to win, but it's more important for us to develop them as individuals, as young men, and develop their skills. And we feel like winning is just a byproduct of all of that. Yeah. So we try to keep the main thing. And now, you know, we've definitely all feel like we're part of a program that year in, year out, regardless of what the state says, that this team can compete for a state championship. This school can. Year in, year out.
I agree, you can too. And another thing going with winning being a byproduct, I feel like that's really important too, is celebrating wins or stuff like that. It's not I don't know, you shouldn't celebrate it because obviously you are, but it's it should be expected, you know, you know that you could have done that, so you did it, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's really important too because of how our boys move on from one week to the next week. They don't stay caught up with that win and it gets to their head or anything. They just move on to the next game.
Yes, they've definitely moved on. They're ready.
Okay. This is a Thursday night game.
Yes.
In Paris, Texas. But it seems like, I don't know, I guess past 2 years, a lot of schools around us been doing their playoff games on Thursdays. You got any pros and cons, for this week's game on Thursday? And, does the prep change or does it stay the same?
Well, pretty much everyone is doing it pretty much because, you know what, when you're a school our size, you're at the mercy of some of the bigger schools, you know, and a lot of times they're playing Friday night and we're just thankful, for Paris ISD to be able to host us on Thursday night. You know, so you see that going on in the area quite a bit, you know, being able to use one of those bigger stadiums, you know, so we're definitely thankful for that. But, you know, I think we're all in the same boat when it comes to playing on Thursday night. You know, obviously, if you have another day, you use it. But if you don't have another day, you're still going to make sure you get the same amount of work you can get done. You know. So our guys are up for the task, and I'm sure their guys will be also. But just way it falls. You know, it's in order to get a good stadium get a good venue that our fans will be comfortable in.
And it feels like you're in the playoffs.
Yes,
it's not
it
just like,
does.
oh, your normal high school
No.
football game. Like, you know.
And it's a different buzz in the building today. I'm sitting in the cafeteria,
Oh.
and myself and Mr.
Okay.
Brandon sitting there like, man, and the kids like, man, when you getting your ticket? When we're just listening to all of them. So,
Mm-hmm.
so the kids are excited. Everybody's excited. Because when you go to playoffs, everyone goes to the playoffs.
Oh,
Everyone,
yeah.
our whole town.
Because, I mean,
You
they
know,
got to
so-
think about it. They're like, well, what if they win and I miss out on it? Or
Yeah.
like, what if that? Yeah, because it's like fear of missing out. Have you ever heard of FOMO? FOMO? Do you know what FOMO is?
No,
It's
what's
fear of missing out.
Oh, I don't want to miss out either.
I know, but that's what everybody's getting during the playoffs. It's FOMO. They're fear of missing out on the playoffs.
And then I've seen some playoff shirts around.
Travis Gray's Jr. Small.
There you go.
Mom already bought me one. Got my sweatshirt.
So get your sweatshirt, get your t-shirt, get all the paraphernalia.
They got all the boys' names on the back too.
And it's a good time of year. There's a lot of stuff going on. I know our girls just had a scrimmage on Saturday
Yeah.
in basketball, so I had a chance to see them. And but it's a fun time to be a Jefferson Bulldog. And like I said, if you can't get to Paris, hey, you gotta watch the live stream.
Well, duh.
It's the best.
Because, I mean, what is it? That's like exactly halfway. Paris is like
Mhm.
exactly 2 hours from us, 2 hours for them.
Yes,
I mean, that's just 2 hours.
it's just 2 hours.
And I mean, there's gonna be some food on the way.
There you
So,
go.
You gotta come. I mean, that's the only reason I go. I'm kidding. No. But I mean, good food is a deal. Okay. Well, speaking of Pottsboro, we're playing in Paris.
Mhm.
Can you tell us about them a little bit? Give us what we need to expect, players we need to watch out for.
Pottsboro, they're big and physical. They're running back number 5, McBride. He's already rushed for 2,000 yards. So he's averaging over 200 yards a game. So he definitely has our attention.
Mm-hmm.
They play 2 different quarterbacks. One more of a runner, the other a passer. But we're going to have to contain their run game. They're big and physical up front, which is, we're big and physical up front too. So we feel like we're a lot the same. Defensively, we're just going to play fast and kind of get after them. And not allow them to kind of lean on us. And then defensively, they kind of employ the same philosophy as offense. They're going to be big on the D-line, and we're going to try to combat that with our speed and our size up front as well. So as teams, as people see this game, you're like, man, these 2 pretty good sized teams.
Yeah.
And 2 really good teams. Like we said, at this point of the season, anything can happen. That they're a team that, up until week 7, they were still undefeated.
Really?
So they end up losing 2 of their last 4, to kind of fall in that 3rd slot. But they're a really good team, and we're excited about playing them. Since I've been here, they're one of 2 teams in that district that we have never played. So we hadn't played them in the playoffs over the last 9 years. So it'd be good to play a different opponent. Like I said, we don't know much about them, but we're coming and we'll see them.
Are you nervous because you've never played them?
No,
How do you feel about it?
it's exciting. I know Coach Polwell. I know the head coach, and I know his dad, and really he comes from a coaching family. His dad was a coach, so he coached a long time. So I'm excited. I'm excited that we hadn't seen them, that they got to do a little work to find out something about the Jefferson Bulldogs.
Yeah.
They don't know anything about us either. It's just kind of like coaching can be a kind of a small community of people.
Especially in district.
Yeah,
Too.
so you get to calling people like, man, tell me about Pottsboro. What do you know about them? So it's good that we both got to do a little recon this week to learn about each other.
It's almost like binge watching a new TV show, like that you've never seen before, and then you're just like kind of looking at what it's about to see if you want to start it or not,
There you
and
go.
then you just can't stop watching. I mean, that's how I was doing it.
Well, that's what we're doing. We're binge and watching them.
The Pottsboro Jefferson TV show.
There we go. It's going to be fun. It's exciting. Like I said, it's good to play somebody new.
Mm-hmm.
People
I
hadn't
feel like
heard
the
of.
fans are really gonna like that. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
obviously our fans travel with us
Oh, yeah.
everywhere. I feel like people are gonna be like, well, we don't know how they play.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I agree with you. I think the fans will be excited as well. 'Cause they don't like, where's Pottsboro? And I'm sure people start looking at the map and I'm like, okay, that's why we're playing in Paris. Yes, because we have to, you know. But it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a fun week, and playing on a Thursday night, and we'll look back and it'll be Thursday.
Yeah, well, then it'll be that Friday morning whenever you have to go to school. You know how long.
There we go. And then we can celebrate all day Friday. There we go.
Everybody's gonna be a little bit half asleep though, no matter what. I mean, 'cause you gotta think we're gonna be getting home at like 12:30 that night.
It's okay.
Ain't nobody gonna be awake.
That's okay.
You got anything else to add, Coach?
No. Hey, it's been fun regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get ready for the playoffs.
I agree.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, that concludes your weekly pregame segment. Questions with Coach, and we will see y'all next week.
And welcome back, Bulldog fans. And we just had the coin toss, and Greg, Pottsboro is going to be receiving the opening kickoff.
Right. And they are going to be going from north to south. There is much.
And let's go over the starting lineup real quick. Go ahead and do the defense for us.
Number 8, Travis Harris at defensive end. 53, Alex Xavier Pryor, defensive tackle. 55, Hayden Ray at defensive tackle. Number 27, Aaron Billard at defensive end. And we are about to have the national anthem played.
Thank you.
And the national anthem was played by the Jefferson Band.
I got it. We'll go over the starting offense for the Bulldogs. Left tackle, Luis Gomez. Left guard, Hayden Ray. The center, Zach Holscher. Right guard, Kingston Nelson. Right tackle, Keelan Williams. Tomias Taylor's the quarterback. Fullback, Eldarius Washington. Cameron Williams will be the running back. Anthony Flannery, tight end. Travis Gray at receiver. And Chris Love will be the other receiver. So we're just about ready to get this one underway. First round of the playoffs, Jefferson Bulldogs taking on the Pottsboro Cardinals. Back deep for the Cardinals is number 5, Major McBride. He's going to be the running back that we have got to contain tonight, Greg. We can't let him get loose and get all the yardage.
That's right. He is a 2,000-yard rusher. But right now, here comes the kickoff.
Dominic Rivers with the kick. And it will be number 2, Cameron Saunders for the Cardinals. He's contained quickly by the bulldozer, Kristen Bowman, at the 26-yard line. 27-yard line is where they've got it now to be 1st and 10 Pottsboro. So we are in Paris, Texas, Wildcat Stadium. Slight rain coming down as temperatures are cooling off. maybe this rain will hold off for a little bit and get us a good game going here, and hopefully the Bulldogs come out on top.
Yeah, 55 degrees here at game time. The rain is holding off for right now, but here comes the Jefferson defense.
Humphrey is the quarterback, dropping back to pass early on. He's going to float one over the right side, and great coverage. That is Joshua Biddle. Pass was intended for Major McBride on the wheel route coming out of the backfield. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals. Greg, it's going to be important tonight for these guys playing defensive end to contain the run to the inside. We can't let them bounce it outside.
Right. Just make them go between the tackles and let them run into a brick wall.
And that is McBride taking it. He will have enough for the first down. He's going to be hard to keep contained tonight, but he's going to take that one for a huge gainer. On second down, he'll have the first down. 1st and 10 Cardinals. That is up to the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left. McBride is in the backfield with Humphrey. Humphrey takes it himself over the left-hand side, and he'll be brought down for a short gain. Aaron Ballard in on the stop. He's filling in tonight.
Aaron Ballard on the tackle. Midfield brings up 2nd down and 7.
Keyshawn Whitaker is normally in that spot, and he's out with a knee injury. So 2nd and 7 now for the Cardinals. Humphrey's in the gun. He's going to hand off to McBride. Got to keep him contained.
Yeah,
and
they got the seal block on the outside, and he takes that one for 21 yards.
He'll be down to the 29-yard line of the Bulldogs. 10:37 remaining in the first. Big trip receivers to the left-hand side. McBride alongside of Humphrey in the backfield. It's going to be McBride again going up the middle this time, but Coben Tomlinson is there for the stop for the Bulldogs.
Right, that time they contained him, made him go inside where the tacklers were. Gain of 3.
It's going to bring up 2nd and 7 now for the Cardinals. Twin receivers on each side. Humphrey's going to drop back to throw, and he's got a man wide open. That's going to be good enough for the touchdown. That is number 10, Carson Butcher.
Pass hauled in by Carson Butcher for the touchdown. 26 yards.
And just like that, Pottsboro Cardinals strike first.
Yeah, we see on the replay, he takes the ball, fakes a throw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Moose got a little turned around right there.
Yeah.
This is number 40.
Missed the assignment, and receiver was wide open. Those
Connor
are mistakes that have to be minimized.
Connor McDonald's PAT is good. And the early score with 10 minutes on the clock, Pottsboro 7, Jefferson 0.
And we do not, under UIL rules, we do not have sponsors this week. The UIL controls, has broadcast rights for all playoff games, and they do not allow us to have sponsors here in the playoffs. So the Bulldogs are getting back on the field, ready to return the kickoff and get this game turned around.
So back deep for the Bulldogs is Moose Carter. You got Coben, no, that's number 17, Amron Bruce, and number 24, Jermaine Hopkins Jr. will be back deep. Going to try and get this thing going. Rain still coming down. We expect it all night. Sometimes it's supposed to get a little harder than it is now, but maybe it'll hold off.
Yeah, it's fairly light right now.
Connor McDonald be kicking off for Pottsboro. And he's gonna, maybe if we didn't touch that, that should be a penalty.
And
there
the
it
flag
is
is thrown.
I didn't think he touched that. That went straight out of bounds. So that'll be a break for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it looks like it went out of bounds about the 21-yard line or so.
So they'll mark off a few steps out of that, and we'll move it up to the 30, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
So now it's time to answer the score that Pottsboro had on their first drive.
Tobias Taylor will be working out of the gun with Cameron Williams by his side. And this will be Williams coming around the left side looking for some daylight. He's got an opening across midfield. He needs to break one tackle. Maybe a horse collar tackle, and we do have
see a flag.
So we're going to tack on some to the end of that one. He got it down to the 36-yard line of Pottsboro. He had one man to beat, and that guy had the angle. So a little extra yardage tacked on to the end of this one. And that puts the Bulldogs deep into Pottsboro territory. And, you know, we talked about this before the game started, Greg. One or two plays, the Bulldogs can score.
That's right. Cam found a seam right through the middle of the line and had one man to beat, who just grabbed him by the shoulder pads, brought him down.
Quick pass out to Hopkins, and it is incomplete. Probably a good thing because he was going to be covered up. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 now for the Bulldogs with 9:34 remaining in the first quarter. Ball is at the 21-yard line of Pottsboro. Working out of the gun. Handoff to Williams over the right side. Moves the pile inside the 20. Yeah, they've got it marked right at the 20. I thought he got down to about the 18.
Must have had a knee down.
So that'll bring up 3rd and a long 9 for the Bulldogs.
At the Bulldogs offensive line, the Trench Mafia, they're showing early on that they can dominate that line of scrimmage, and that's going to pay big dividends later on.
Taylor sends twins out to the
You've
right.
got tight man-to-man coverage on Love.
And that Williams is wrapped up. I don't think he even gained a yard.
Somebody grabbed a towel and threw it.
Williams again on the carry. Grayson West with the stop.
So that's going to bring up 4th and 8 for the Bulldogs with 8:38 and counting in the first quarter. Bulldogs will keep the offense out there. And the Jefferson faithful who made the trip are cheering him on. Taylor drops back to pass, looking to throw. And he is going to be wrapped up about the 29-yard line and brought down for the sack. So a turnover on downs. With 8:15 on the clock, Pottsboro will take over 1st and 10.
And that was unfortunate.
Well, you know, a good trip all the way down to the 21 and just stalled.
Right.
That first run by Williams and then the penalty brought us down there, but we couldn't get anything going. So 1st and 10, Pottsboro. Humphrey hands off to McBride, who's wrapped up immediately.
Yeah, the defense got past the line of scrimmage there. They were able to grab him, and he just got back to the line of scrimmage. That's the kind of defense that's going to win this game for the Bulldogs tonight.
Yeah, they're going to have to contain number 5, definitely.
Right, because he's the workhorse, averages over 200 yards a game. But this Pottsboro team can be beaten.
Humphrey will keep it himself up the middle, and once again, a good defensive stand by the Bulldogs, maybe a gain of 2 on the carry. That's going to bring up 3rd and long now for Pottsboro. 7:30 and counting in the first quarter. Back to the line quickly. Twin receivers on each side.
And then getting the play called in from the sidelines. Bulldogs are ready to blitz, showing blitz. Here they come.
And I think it was a false start on Pottsboro. I seen movement up front.
I see the play clock back to 25. Did it run out?
It was a false start.
False start on the offense.
So move them back 5, and it's going to be 3rd and even longer now for the Cardinals. 7:10 on the clock.
The Cardinals have 3 penalties now for 25 yards. The Bulldogs have not committed any penalties.
So right here, it'd be a good situation for the Bulldogs to shut them down and force a punt deep in their own territory.
Yeah, expecting a blitz to come.
And he's got a man wide open over the middle. That was number 32, Xavier Brady. First down, Pottsboro. He just came out of the inside slot position, right up the seam. And McBride's going to take this one for a short carry.
And a long pass, batted away.
So that brings up another 3rd down situation for the Cardinals with 5:56 on the clock. Looks like 3rd and 7 for the Cardinals. It's going to send trips to the left, 2 to the right. And Humphrey's going to keep it himself up the middle. And good defensive stand right there. That was Moose Carter, I believe, coming up from the safety position. And that's going to bring up 4th and long. And let's see if they're going to
4th and 7.
Punt this thing away. And number 44, Connor McDonald, is coming out to handle the punting duties. Back deep for the Bulldogs, Moose Carter and Chris Love. Got to keep a handle on the wet football. Don't let nothing pop out. Oh, it's a fake punt around the right side. Come on. Oh, he's got him. He gets down to the 40.
Took the legs out from under him, and down he went.
That's going to be a turnover on downs. He did not make the line to gain, which was the 39. So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. 5:15 remaining in the first quarter. That was Kristen Bowman coming up, tripping him up. So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball spotted just across the 40-yard line. Taylor a handoff to Williams, trying to get something going around the left side. It gets up to the 45-yard line. 44, they're going to back it up just a hair.
Yeah, if you're having trouble going inside, just let them fly outside. And with the speed that Williams has, he can, if he gets the corner, it's going to be a big play.
Taylor in the gun. He's going to hand off to Williams again. And he's going to get up to the 48-yard line.
Finds a seam up the middle for a gain of 4.
So 3rd and 3 now coming up for the Bulldogs. 4:26 and counting remaining in the first. Chris Love and Hopkins split to the left. Travis Gray Jr. up top. This will be handed off to Williams, and he's going to have the first down.
They can't get him down, so he's going to make the first down.
He's out to the 46-yard line of Pottsboro. Move the chains. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. And he'll have to come off a play. He lost a hat.
Dudley again on the stop for the Cardinals. First down yardage at the 46 of Pottsboro.
Amron Bruce will come in and take his spot. .345 and counting. This will go to Bruce over the right side, and he can run also. He's going to have another first down for the Bulldogs. Well, let's see. They marked him. He might have got a knee down 37. He needed to get to the 36. So 2nd and 1 coming up for the Bulldogs. Gain of 9 for Amron Bruce. And he's going to stay out there. Let's go to Bruce over the right side, looking to bounce it out. Cuts up, and we probably got a hold. That was 78 Kingston Nelson, I think, just took the defender down. 3 flags coming on that one. Yeah. Yeah, you can't grab them from the back. So that'll move them Bulldogs back 10.
All right, 2nd down and 11.
3:08 on the clock.
Yeah, holding is one of the biggest drive-killing penalties that there is. At least it's not 15 yards like it was many years ago. Only 10.
Keep the hands inside. You can't get outside the shoulder pads. Taylor going to roll out, looking to throw. He had room to run if he needed. Now he lets it go, almost picked off. It was number 9, Drew Price, coming up. Nobody open downfield for Taylor, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 11.
No, the one receiver he had open, by the time the ball got there, one of their defensive backs had read it and was looking for a pick 6. Thank goodness he missed that.
So 3rd and 11 coming up. Twin receivers to the left. Cameron Williams is back. He's going to come over and line up in a slot position. And one of those receivers, Chris Love on the slip screen, if he can make a move, he can get the first. He's going to be awfully close.
Very close.
He is right at the marker, and they're going to give him the first down, so move the chains. 1st and 10 Bulldogs with 2:33 and counting.
As we watch it here on the replay, a fake to Cam, quick toss out to Chris, and he gets that first down. Keeping the drive alive, and the Bulldogs are starting to come alive.
1st and 10 Bulldogs. They got that jumbo formation with Coben Tomlinson in at quarterback, and he hops over the front line, and he's going to have 4 yards on the carry. That'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs. Down to 1:45 on the clock remaining in the first quarter. Pottsboro leading your Bulldogs 7-0.
1 minute, 36 seconds left in the first quarter. And the Bulldogs are marching.
Taylor's back in at quarterback with Williams in the backfield. This will go to Williams, looking over the left side. He's got some blockers, and he makes a cut. And we got another flag. I believe that's going to be another hold. I think Hayden Ray took somebody down from behind. So they're going to march this one back another 10 yards for holding. That's going to back it up to the 39-yard line. Brings up 2nd and 13 now for the Bulldogs. So a couple holding penalties on this drive has moved us back.
Yeah, those are the mistakes you have to avoid. But if they can get out of this one.
Taylor working out of the gun. Hands off to Williams up the middle. Looking to bounce it out, but he's not going to get out of those 2 tackles right there.
No, they sniffed that one out. And no gain on that play.
Brought down by number 13, P.J. Reed for the Cardinals. That's going to bring up 3rd and 12 now for the Bulldogs.
Brings up 3rd down 12.
Hopkins and Love will be split to the left, Gray to the right. Taylor rolls out to the left, looking to throw. He's going to let it go. He's got a receiver. That's Chris Love. That's going to be
He had
close.
his feet down, and that is a first down.
Down to the 25. Got it by 1 yard. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
At the 25-yard line, it is a Bulldog first down.
Good reception by Love. And we might get, he got out of bounds, so that stops the clock.
The clock was stopped.
Hand off over the left side to Bruce. Maybe a gain of 1, and that should take us to the end of the first quarter.
Right, stayed in bounds, so the clock has run out on the first quarter. The Bulldogs are driving.
And after 1, Bulldog fans, Pottsboro 7, and your Jefferson Bulldogs 0, but on the move. So penalties have been a factor for the Bulldogs in the first quarter. A couple holding penalties have moved us back a little bit.
Right, 2 penalties for 20 yards on this drive.
Have to minimize the penalties, keep it clean.
Right, and just real quick, Bulldogs are 2 for 4 for 25 yards through the air. The Cardinals are also 2 for 4 through the air for 51 yards and a touchdown. Cameron Williams has 9 carries for 56 yards, and his counterpart for the Cardinals, 5 carries for 41 yards. And the Bulldogs have been showing that they're going to stop. They're going to stop the Cardinals on the run. And the pass defense is also starting to kick in.
Yeah, it's going to be all about containing, keeping it inside, because when these guys bounce it outside, that's when everything
They get
gets
ahead
out
of
control.
steam running, and
Yeah.
you're right. You get that corner, and their backs can gain a lot of yards that way.
So
Yeah.
2nd and 8 now. Taylor drops back to throw. Little screen to Hopkins over the middle. He's got some room, and he might get in for
He
the
is
Bulldog
in. Touchdown. Jermaine Hopkins.
First play of the second quarter, 11:52 on the clock. That'll bring up Dominic Rivers for the PAT. Tomlinson the holder. The kick is up, and it is good. And we are tied at 7 apiece.
Rivers, 1 after is good. 1:52 left in the opening half. Our new score, tied at 7. Bulldogs and Cardinals.
With the exception of that first drive, the Bulldogs are showing this is how you win a playoff game.
Yeah, let's watch this one
Go
again.
back to this. Right. Fake it to Williams. Bring the defense in to get him, which leaves defenders out of place to try and stop Jermaine Hopkins Jr. And like I was saying in pregame, you get him the ball, he wants to score.
Good pass and catch right there. Hanging on to the wet ball. Rivers will be kicking off. Back deep for the Cardinals. Number 5, Major McBride. Number 7 is Cohen Rakita. And we'll see which way Rivers is going to go with this thing. He can basically put it where he wants to put it. And he's going to go deep down the right side, and that'll go into the end zone. So that'll be a touchback for the Cardinals. Put him 1st and 10 from the 25. So right here, a good 3 and out would do us good, Greg.
Right. The Bulldogs have the momentum on their side. This defense wants to get a 3 and out, get a stop, get the ball back, because the offense is rolling. Just need to avoid mistakes.
Caden Humphrey is the quarterback for Pottsboro. Drops back to pass. He's going to send one up the seam once again.
Overthrown.
And the bad thing about that, Greg, he was wide open. That was number 10, Carson Butcher, once again. They're going to work that seam all night from that slot position. That's how they scored on that first touchdown as well.
Right.
Brings up 2nd and 10 now for the Cardinals. 11:46 on the clock. Trips to the right, 2 to the left, and this will be a quarterback keeper. And that was actually McBride, took the direct snap. He gets up to the 33-yard line. Bring up 3rd and 3 now for the Cardinals. And the keeper, and let's see if he got, no, he did not get the first down.
No, I don't even know if he got back, barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
That's going to bring up 4th and 2 now for Pottsboro. Let's see, they're going to keep
They
the
are
offense
keeping the
out
offense
there.
on the field. They're going for it. The Jefferson defense, they smell a run coming.
And it's going to be a quarterback keeper. He has stood up. I don't
Right
think he's
into
got
a
it.
brick wall.
Driving him back, he did not
Put
he did
him
not
down.
make it. That'll be Bulldog football, 1st and 10.
And the referee has just called it. First down, Jefferson.
Huge stop for the Bulldog defense. 10:38 on the clock. Greg, I got a couple scores coming in. Grandview takes the early lead over Fairview 6-0. It's Malakoff over Maypearl 14-0. And Winsboro 7-0 over Atlanta. And let's see, a couple more. Paradise over Vernon 8-7, and Bushland 21-0 over Brownfield.
Here come the Bulldogs after a 3 and out.
Taylor hands
Low
off
snap.
to Williams.
Well played, and Cameron Williams rolls down to the 20-yard line.
That's enough for a Bulldog first down. Move the chains. Keep the offense rolling. (10-13) and counting. Taylor takes a snap. Hands off to Williams. He tries to bounce it out to the left side. He's got some room. If he could break a tackle, spin move, he might have enough for another first down.
That is marked beyond the chains. First down at the 9.
1st and goal Bulldogs with 10 minutes remaining in the first half. So Bulldogs on the move once again in great field position after the turnover on downs.
Hand
Taylor.
off to Williams.
Williams trying to find something over the right side, but it's contained pretty good, and he's going to be brought down.
Gain of 2.
So that'll bring up 2nd and goal for the Bulldogs. And that brings out Kristen Bowman, Coben Tomlinson, the jumbo formation. Let's see if they got the dozer.
There
It's gonna
goes
be
the dozer.
No, Tomlinson keeps it in for the Bulldog touchdown from the 8-yard line. With 9:10 on the clock, Coben Tomlinson takes it in for the Bulldog touchdown.
Misdirection on this one. Fake handoff to the dozer, and away goes Tomlinson to the end zone.
Yeah, I expected the bulldozer to get that one because he's been automatic all season.
Right, and everybody else on the field expected that too.
Yep.
When Tomlinson kept the ball for himself, the defense was out of place, and the Bulldogs had the lead, 14-7.
PAT by Rivers is good.
9 minutes, 10 seconds left in the second quarter, and the Bulldogs are rolling.
So not a wise decision by Pottsboro on 4th and 2 in their own territory to go for it. Turnover on downs leads to the Coben Tomlinson touchdown for the Bulldogs.
That's right. You give the Bulldogs a short field, it's not going to take them long to just put it in your end zone.
So back deep for the Cardinals is Major McBride. Number 7 is Cohen Rakita. And I believe that's number 6, Caden Humphrey on the other side. I can't see that jersey's pulled up. But just keep it out of number 5's hands because he can be deadly in the open field.
He's a hard one to bring down at 210 pounds, 6'1".
Here's Rivers' kick down the right side. That needs to, it is caught about the 12-yard line. Oh, he reverses field, has a little running room. He gets across the 30. That was number 7, Cohen Rakita.
Out to the 33-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
So 9:02 remaining in the first half. Ball's going to be spotted at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10, Pottsboro.
So Pottsboro's going to have to figure out how to get their offense going.
And that's going to be Caden Humphrey at quarterback with Major McBride to his right. This will go to McBride right up the middle, and he's going to be contained. And on the stop was Joshua Biddle, and number 74 is Devontae Marshall for the Bulldogs. So what, he got 5 yards on that one. Second and 5 now for the Cardinals.
Bulldogs showing blitz.
Quarterback keeper Humphrey's going to take it himself, but Devontae Marshall says
nothing
no.
doing.
He has stood up immediately. I don't believe he gained anything on that one.
No, they're marking it at the same place, the 37-yard line.
I tell you what, Greg, you see a difference in the officiating? How, you know, once you get into the playoffs,
You get the best
hey,
referees.
these guys are getting it spotted quick. They're getting a dry ball in there pretty quickly, so good job.
Right.
3rd and 5 now for the Cardinals, dropping back to pass. He's looking to throw.
He's
and
about to get sacked.
He's got pressure coming from behind.
Gets the ball away.
It is complete to number 2, Cameron Saunders. He was close to being across that line of scrimmage when he threw it.
Yes, he was.
That goes down to the 39-yard line of the Bulldogs. It'll be 1st and 10, Pottsboro. Humphreys takes the snap. Quick throw over to the left-hand side. That is number 10, Carson Boucher. And he's going to have a short gain, maybe
Yeah, he had
2
trouble
yards.
keeping his feet after he got that one.
Yeah.
That wet turf showing up for the first time tonight.
7:29 and counting in the second quarter. Brings up 2nd and 8 now for the Cardinals. Humphrey's going to keep it himself up the middle, and he's going to have the first down. Down to the 27-yard line of the Bulldogs. That'll move the chains, 1st and 10, Pottsboro. Under 7 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Jefferson with the lead, 14-7.
But the Bulldogs defense needs to get in there and stop them.
Humphreys hands off to McBride, who's almost taken down. Now he finds a seam, and I believe he's going to take it the distance. 27 yards. Major McBride on the carry with 6:34 on the clock.
As we see on the replay, he broke the tackle, found a seam, and turned on the Jets.
This will be Connor McDonald in for the extra point. Humphrey is the holder. Ball is down, kick is up, and it is good. So with 6:34 on the clock, it's all tied up, 14-14. And it's just kind of alternating, Greg. You know, the Bulldogs will stand them right up for no gain on one play and then give up 28 yards on the next one. So
right, this Pottsboro team, they've got some big kids out there, and they can and do break off some big plays. And then you turn right around the next play and they get stopped.
yeah,
And that's what has kept them, well, they made third place in their district. You've got to have more consistency to be a winning team.
and the pride of Dangerfield, Billy Adley, tuning in to tonight's game.
So we're getting ready for the kickoff.
Back deep for the Bulldogs, number 10, Moose Carter. Connor McDonald has it teed up at the 40 for the Cardinals. Here comes
Bulldogs
the
have a
kick.
hands team up front.
And a short kick. Going to be handled about the 28. Looking for some room is Jermaine Hopkins Jr. And they're going to mark him down at the 27-yard line, where the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 with 6:26 remaining in the second quarter.
Jermaine Hopkins on the return for the Bulldogs.
So this would be a good time for the Bulldogs to have a slow, steady drive and just take us into halftime with a
Right.
score at the end of the second quarter.
6 minutes, 26 seconds left. Use up some of that clock, get a score, and get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
We're going to see the Bulldogs come out and see what kind of offense we've got.
Taylor working in the gun with Williams by his side. It'll hand off to Williams up the middle. Have a short gain, maybe a yard.
Just waiting for the official spot on that.
I don't think they're going to give him anything. No, they got it back
Nope.
at the 27. So no gain on that for Williams. Down to 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Going to send twin receivers out to the left, one to the right. This will go to Williams once again, trying to bounce it, and he does up the middle. Gets a few yards over the 30 to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, just when they thought they had him, he bounces off, moves a step or two out of the way, gets past that defender, because Cam Williams is a hard back to bring down.
That'll bring up 3rd and 6 now for the Bulldogs. 5:21 on the clock. Once again, twin receivers to the left, one to the right. Taylor going to keep it, looking to throw, and it goes incomplete. Intended for Jermaine Hopkins Jr. over the 40-yard line. So that'll bring up 4th down. And that brings out Dominic Rivers. He's going to punt this one away. And going back deep for the Cardinals is number 5, Major McBride.
Yeah, 3 and out is not what we had hoped for.
No, I was hoping to run some of that clock down. Not give them another opportunity. Uh-oh.
Bad snap.
Mishandles the snap, but he gets a decent kick away.
That is not fielded, and it's getting a good Jefferson roll.
Oh, that's a real good roll down to the 25 and still rolling to the 24-yard line is where Pottsboro will take over 1st and 10 with 4:48 remaining in the second quarter. It's all tied up 14 apiece. Couple score updates. Grandview is over Fairview 6-3. Malakoff still 14-0 over Maypearl. Winsboro over Atlanta 7-7. And Paradise over Vernon 16-7.
So the Jefferson defense looking to rise to the occasion.
And they're all over Major McBride. If anything, it looks like 1 yard they're going to give him on that carry. 2nd and 9 now for the Cardinals with 4:30 and counting in the second quarter. Twin receivers on each side for Humphrey. Looking to throw. Quick curl route is complete. That is to number 3, Brady Fulton, on the reception. And that is good enough for a first down. Right at the marker. They're going to move the chains 1st and 10. 34-yard line, 1st and 10, Pottsboro. And that's a false start. There are the flags. That'll back them up 5 yards.
Yep, the referees caught it just like we did here in the booth. Pottsboro now has 4 penalties for 30 yards being marked off against them. This one 5 yards. Making it 2nd and 15.
Got to watch this stack formation with these receivers. That'll be a quarterback keeper over the right side. And a decent gain across the 40 was Humphreys. Up to the 42-yard line. 3:30 on the clock. That'll bring up 2nd and short now for the Cardinals.
That's 42-yard line, 2nd and 2 for the Cardinals.
This will go to McBride, and he's wrapped up. Oh, he gets out of that tackle. Now gets a block, and he has got open field, and he's going to be hard to bring down. We do have a flag back here. Hold the phone. Flag is down at the 47-yard line. Let's hope we can get a holding call out of this, Greg.
Yes, we're waiting for the official's call. Holding.
There it is. Bring
Takes
it back.
that 57-yard run, wipes it off.
So they'll bring this one back. Boy, you know, we had him wrapped up over here. I thought that was
just slipped that tackle.
78 Kingston Nelson, I believe that was.
Yeah.
Or it might have been Devontae Marshall.
But you've got to wrap him up. You can't just hand tackle him because he's going to slip out of that tackle. And
2nd and 7 now for the Cardinals. Ball's
So
at
now-
the 37. And Humphrey is going to look to throw, and he's going to go deep down the right side, and this might
He's
be
defended.
picked off. No, he drops
knocked it away.
That was Daniel Smith on the coverage.
Yeah, he was stride for stride with that receiver, had position on the ball, and all said and done, he knocked it away.
So that brings up 3rd and 7 now for the Cardinals with 2:51 on the clock. Twin receivers on each side for Humphreys. McBride is in the backfield. Rolls out to the right, looking to throw once again. He's got a man open. That's going to be complete for the first down. That was complete to number 2, Cameron Saunders. And the clock continues to run with 2:40. Ball is up to the 45-yard line.
Smith on the play defensively for the Bulldogs.
Humphreys on the quarterback
Bulldogs
keeper.
coming.
Or that was McBride. The direct snap to McBride. Short game. That'll keep the clock running.
Christian Bowman on the stop.
Bring up 2nd and 7 now for the Cardinals. And we are almost 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Right, the Bulldogs defense is trying to rise up to the occasion and get them stopped.
And Humphreys is going to, no, that's McBride again on the direct snap.
And they tripped him up for no gain.
Keeps the clock running. 1:40 remaining in the second quarter.
And most importantly, 3rd down and 7. And the Cardinals are having the play called in from the sideline. Receivers just, they're not in a huddle.
Play clock is down to 10 seconds.
And they're just standing there.
I'm not sure what they're doing.
And they call a timeout.
I don't get that. I mean,
No, they let the clock run down and then call a timeout after letting 40 seconds run off the clock. Not something I would do as a coach.
and the ball's spotted at the 47-yard line. You know,
Yeah.
hey, I'm thinking, keep it going. You're moving, so.
Right.
Pottsboro facing a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Yeah, not sure what they've got up their sleeve, but if it doesn't work, they just wasted 40 seconds off the clock. Not something you want to do if you're trying to get the ball down and get
Yeah.
a touchdown. You know, unless you think you can put it in with this much time left, but they've got a lot of real estate before they get to that end zone.
So 3rd and 7, 1:05 remaining on the clock in the second quarter. Twin receivers on each side of Humphrey.
Yeah, clock's going to start with the snap of the ball after the timeout.
Humphrey rolls out to the right, looking to throw. He's going to be sacked from behind. That is
And
I don't have a 13 on mine. Do you? For
yes, PJ for
no, for us.
no, 13. No, I don't have one on the roster. We might have to check that and get that number, unless it was 19. Oh, Cornell Nunn.
Cornell Nunn. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. So that's going to bring up 4th and 9 now for the Cardinals. 49 seconds remaining in the first half.
Bulldogs defense coming onto the field, and Pottsboro does come out in punt formation. However, we've seen them fake it before.
Connor McDonald is back to punt. Back deep for the Bulldogs is Moose Carter and Chris Love. They're going to be standing about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, they've got Humphrey calling the snap, but it goes back
And we
and
got a
penalty flag.
Gonna let that one drop. Inside the 30 to the 29-yard line, but we'll wait to see what the flag is.
Football's dead at the 29-yard line. Flag on the play.
Yeah, false start. So we're going to
Okay.
add 5 to it.
Yeah, 5 yards.
That'll bring it up to
Jefferson's direction, puts it on the 34-yard line to start with.
38 seconds remaining in the first half.
Time enough for the Bulldogs to score. Let's see if they can get it down there and how they're going to get it there.
That's Bowman in the backfield with him. Trip receivers to the right. Hopkins goes in motion. Taylor looking to throw. And he's got Jakiri Johnson over the middle. If he can bounce this out, he had a couple blockers out there. Still on his feet, close to the first down. And that's going to, Coach Jefferson will call a timeout. That's the first one of the half for him, with 24 seconds remaining on the clock.
It's the second timeout they've called.
Was it second?
Right. They had used one to get the ball back on the last drive between third and fourth down.
So Jakiri Johnson comes up a yard short of the first. Ball will be spotted at the 43-yard line.
Second and 1.
24 seconds remaining in the first quarter, or first half.
Chance to pull something out of the playbook and ring up a touchdown.
And we've seen how quick Cameron Williams can get you a score.
Right.
But they're going to leave Bowman in the backfield, the bulldozer. He's coming back out on the field.
You can just take Chris Bowman, put the other team on his back. He'll carry him all the way down there.
Trip receivers to the right for the Bulldogs. Taylor drops back to throw. He's got receivers deep down the field, and he's just going to throw that one away. That was a wise choice. Travis Gray was 10 yards behind the defender, but I don't know. That was a long way downfield. So 16 seconds remaining in the first half.
Third down and 1.
Bowman's in the backfield with Taylor. Bulldozer takes it. Short gain. And
First
that'll
down.
Stop the clock, move the chains. Maybe have time for one more play, but the clock is running. 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
He gets it off and intended for Chris Love, and it's dropped.
And that takes us to halftime.
So Greg, in the first quarter with 10 minutes on the clock, it was Caden Humphrey to number 10, Carson Boucher, for 26 yards for Pottsboro. They took the early lead, and the PAT by Connor McDonald was good. Brought the score 7-0. And then in the first play of the second quarter, 11:52 on the clock, Tomias Taylor goes 28 yards to Jermaine Hopkins Jr. Dominic Rivers adds the PAT, brought it to 7-7. And 9:10 on the clock, it was Coben Tomlinson going 8 yards for the Bulldogs. Dominic Rivers added the PAT, 14-7 Jefferson. But then with 6:34 remaining in the first half, it was Major McBride going 27 yards for the Cardinals. And the PAT by Connor McDonald was good. Brought us to where we finished the first half, 14-14.
Right. This game is in doubt, but it's why we're here. It's a playoff game.
And it's been pretty even. You know, it's going back and forth. The Bulldogs will get a stop and then get the ball back and then just kind of stutter on offense and have to punt it away or turn over on downs, and it's just been kind of even, really.
Right. Looks like the Bulldogs have got the momentum at one point, and then Pottsboro takes a drive,
But you know, the good thing for the Bulldog defense is they, for the most part, have contained Major McBride, and he was the one we were worried about coming into this thing with over 2,000 yards.
Right. He's got 11 carries for 84 yards.
Let's hear it for our Pottsboro High School cheerleaders.
And Pottsboro's band is staying in the stands.
So I tell you what, Greg, we'll let you add up these scores, and we'll go to the Bulldog Buzz and get that playing. And then after that, we'll come back with some stats and get ready for the second half.
The Bulldog Buzz. Here, you get your latest buzz on your Jefferson Bulldogs. In November, your Jefferson Bulldogs support Diabetes Awareness Month. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and wear blue in support. Your Friday Night Lights, and this is what your Friday Night Lights consist of. Your Jefferson High School Strutters. Your Jefferson High School Varsity Cheerleaders. Your Jefferson High School's Marching Band. And your JHS Color Guard. And last but definitely not least, your varsity football team. Tune in next week for more buzz on your dogs. And this was the Bulldog Buzz.
Hey everybody, I'm Madeline Coyne with Bulldog TV, and this is your weekly pregame segment, Questions of Coach. Again, I am back with Jefferson ISD's Athletic Director, Antoine Jefferson.
Madeline, great to be on with you.
Good to be on with you.
Man, played 10 regular season games
Yeah.
thus far. Wow.
District is
Wow.
done.
It's gone really, really fast as you look back on it. You know, it's been some ups, been some downs. It's
A
been,
lot of ups though.
yeah, been
Lot of ups.
fun. You know, a lot of kids have really developed. And, you know, it's good to see at the end of the season over at Sabine, see the crowd. But a lot of people show up. And
Oh yeah, our
and
stands are
man,
just as full
did
as
they
theirs.
not have a lot of seniors? Sabine, halftime was really long because Sabine got a lot of seniors. But
Oh yeah.
so it was good to see. It's always good to see those senior nights. You know, you kind of compare theirs to ours and just
See
the
how
end of
many
the
we
season.
have.
Yeah, so
Or like who they have this many involved in football, this many involved in cheer. Like yeah.
exactly. So it's been a good fun time. Been a good show.
Yeah.
And now we get to take it to the next level. So
Round 1 playoffs.
here we go.
Okay, so we're going to go over some stats from last week's game, the last district game against Sabine. We beat Sabine 56-21. Cameron Williams rushed for 166 yards on 27 carries. He ran and threw for a touchdown. Tobias Taylor completed 13 out of 18 passes for 285 yards and 4 touchdowns. Amaron Bruce rushed for 2 touchdowns. Coben Tomlinson rushed for a touchdown. Travis Gray Jr. caught 2 touchdowns. Chris Love and Jakiri Johnson each caught a touchdown. And Judson Carter and Chris Love each had 2 interceptions.
Well, it's
That's a lot of
mouthful.
numbers.
Really kind
A
of
lot of
spread
numbers.
things around. You know, we knew early on we were going to try to build around our offensive line, and that was going to include Cameron Williams running the football. But it's good to know at this point of the season, you know, and throughout the season, we really develop a good passing game. You know, we got some kids that have really stepped up in that area, and not just one of them. You know, I know Chris Love is our leading receiver, but we have 9 guys that have caught at least a pass in a football game. So it says a lot, and Tobias does a great job of kind of spreading the ball around.
Okay. Obviously, we bounced back from the week before, which was our senior night, with a loss, and then to another big win like how we were doing. So what do you think it means to you, the team, to finish off district on that big of a win?
Well, it just
And we are back at halftime. The Jefferson High School band is about to take the field. Under these conditions, they are not going to be able to perform the halftime show that they've been working on all year, but they are going to take the field for entertainment for this halftime. And now we'll just sit back and listen as the Jefferson High School band takes the field.
Let's hear it for the Jefferson Bulldog Band.
And we are back after enjoying that performance from the Jefferson High School Band and the Strutters. But let's get to some of the first half stats. Things are pretty close on the field and on the scoreboard where it's 14-14. In the first half, Jefferson was 4 for 9 passing for 57 yards and 1 touchdown. On the ground, carried the ball 20 times for 99 yards. Cam Harris had 14 of those carries for 88 yards. And Pottsboro was 6 for 10 through the air for 108 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, they carried it 20 times for 116 yards and 1 touchdown. McBride carried it 11 times for 84 yards, and the quarterback, Humphrey, carried it 9 times for 32 yards.
So, Greg, some scores from around the area. Let's get caught up on Grandview's over Fairview 12-3. Malakoff over Maypearl 21-0 now. And here's the big one of the night. Atlanta and Winsboro are tied 14-14. Paradise is over Vernon 22-7, and Bushland over Brownfield 45-0 in the second quarter. And there's some other games around the area going on too. But yeah, so far tonight, pretty evenly matched. You know, we were concerned coming into this game with Major McBride. He's been the workhorse for Pottsboro for the year, 2,000 yards. And so far, Bulldogs have done a pretty decent job containing him.
Right. The two big backs are just about equal in their performance tonight. Cam has carried the ball 14 times, and Humphrey has carried the ball 11 times, and 88 yards to 84 yards. So that is quite equal in their use and output.
So, one concern I see for the Bulldog defense is they're slipping that little slot receiver up the seam, and he's been open pretty much every time. They connected, in the first quarter for that first touchdown, and then they missed him twice. Once he dropped one, and then one was overthrown. So that's going to be something to look at in the second half, is containing that.
Right,
and
the Bulldogs have been beaten on some big pass plays this season.
Yeah. So another one, they are trying to go deep down the side too when they get into a 3rd and long situation. But so far the Bulldogs have been doing a pretty good job on the defensive side containing that.
Right.
So as long as we come out in the second half, keep doing what we're doing, try and catch a break, man. And, turnover. We talked about turnovers on the wet field, and,
There have not been any.
no turnovers yet. There is still what we're calling a heavy mist, not really a hard rain or anything coming down.
Right.
But
It's not even showing up on the radar.
it's still wet, and the field is wet. But, yeah, no turnovers so far. So both teams doing a good job hanging on to the football. And here shortly the teams are going to come back out on the field and get warmed up, and we'll be ready to bring you this second half and hopefully a second half win for the Bulldogs.
Right. Once again, UIL rules do not allow us to have ads, have commercials, no sponsorship at all during the playoffs. So this game is brought to you by Jefferson High School and the University Interscholastic League.
And I tell you what, Greg, one standout on offense for me is Coben Tomlinson, the freshman. I mean, he's coming in. He came in a couple times, taking over for Taylor on short down plays, and man, he's getting some good yardage. I mean, he's
got the touchdown by faking the handoff and calling his own number. Bulldozer just goes right.
Yeah.
Coben goes left with the ball, and he's in the end zone.
And, we talked about this before the game. A lot of guys going to be returning next year, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what some of these younger guys can do, because there's a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores on this team that are contributing
That's right.
big.
Right, Jermaine Hopkins,
And,
Coben Tomlinson.
Yeah, and something else, one good thing Jefferson's got going on is the youth football league too. These younger guys, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, getting them involved in football and working as a team, getting that competitiveness and teamwork going at a younger age, and as they're coming up, give them some experience and let them know what it's like to be on the field, and man, that turns out big results, once they get into high school.
They had playoffs last Saturday, as a matter of fact, and I don't have any report on that. But, yeah, those kids getting a chance to play some football.
Yeah.
And just get them some experience, get them into junior high where they get the Bulldog coaches. And, we had an 8th grade team last year that had gone through their entire junior high career undefeated.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, yeah, it's a good thing that they're doing in the Jefferson youth football.
And, with this particular high school team, all of the skill players, the wide receivers, the running backs, the quarterbacks, not a single senior.
Yeah, that's right.
When we make this deep run in the playoffs this year, all the way to Jerry World, think of what they can do next year.
Yep. So Pottsboro's taking the field, and the Bulldogs will be right behind them as we're getting ready to get this second half underway.
Right, they're doing their last warm-ups just behind the end zone.
So that first half went by pretty quick, just under an hour, really.
Yes, so.
What were the penalties in that first half?
Penalties. Pottsboro had 4 penalties for 30 yards marked off. Jefferson had 2 holding penalties, 20 yards marked off.
So that that's not bad for the Bulldogs. I mean, 2 holding penalties. I think that came on both of those were on the same drive.
On the same drive.
Yeah.
And they overcame those penalties.
So yeah, keys to the game was turnovers. So no turnovers so far, and Bulldogs keeping the penalties to a minimum. So
minimize the mistakes.
Doing their job, and here come the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs will be getting the ball to start the second half.
Right. So get that momentum going right away. Bring the ball down and score. And we're going to see just what adjustments that each team has made here during halftime. And I was talking with Coach Jefferson this morning, and one of the things that he mentioned to me was be able to make adjustments quickly, not wait for halftime, because there's not going to be another halftime. But here comes the kickoff.
This is going to go down to Moose Carter. He's going to take it at the 5-yard line. Makes a move up the middle. He's got a couple blockers. Now he's trying to get around and bounce to the right, but he's going to be brought down inside the 20. Well, they got him marked right at the 20-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 Bulldogs from the 20.
Carter on return to the Bulldogs. Carson Gibson with stop.
First round of the playoffs for the Bulldogs. Pottsboro Cardinals. That's up around Sherman, I believe.
Right, just west of Sherman. So it's win or go home.
And 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Tobias Taylor is the quarterback. And no fumble on the play, and I believe the Cardinals got on it, and they do. So just like that, we talked about
minimizing
turnovers.
mistakes, and there's a
That's
big
the
one.
first one of the night, and that is going to be 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. So Taylor tried to hand off to Williams and just couldn't get it, the exchange to go. Puts it on the turf.
And not able to get back to it.
So 1st and 10 Pottsboro. Humphrey's going to keep it himself around the left-hand side. Makes a move. He's got one to beat, and he's going to walk in for the score.
Quarterback keeper in the end zone for the 18-yard touchdown.
18 yards with 11:39 on the clock. Coming off of the Bulldog turnover, the Cardinals hit pay dirt.
One play, and they get it in. That's why you've got to minimize mistakes.
Connor McDonald on for the Cardinals for the PAT. Kick is up, and it is good.
That one hurts.
21-14 Pottsboro over your Bulldogs. Quick score coming off the turnover. That just all happened very quickly, didn't it?
Yes.
I tell you what.
First play from scrimmage that we ran, missed the handoff, put it on the ground. They take the ball. First play that they had it, ran it up the middle with their quarterback. He got loose from a couple of tackles and took it to the house.
Back deep for the Bulldogs is Moose Carter, Amron Bruce, and Jermaine Hopkins Jr. Connor McDonald will be kicking off for the Cardinals. Here is the kick. Handled by Carter at the 10-yard line. Looking for a save. Oh, that's a face mask. Where's the flag? There it is. That'll be 15 tacked on to the end of that run.
TJ Reed with the stop. A penalty flag on the board.
And here comes the call.
Personal foul. Face mask. On defense. On 50 feet. 15 yards down and all. First down.
So that's going to turn out for a decent return. Up to the 47-yard line of the Bulldogs. They'll take over 1st and 10 with 11:29 on the clock in the third quarter.
Time to shake off that last play that the offense ran and just move it down the field.
So hand off to Williams. Looking for something up the middle. Weaving his way across midfield to the 49-yard line of Pottsboro.
Jack Tyson on the stop.
Bring up 2nd and 5 now for the Bulldogs. Taylor in the gun.
And an offside against Pottsboro.
That should be a free play. And that'll go incomplete,
Knocked
intended
away.
for Love. Yeah, looked like offsides and made contact with the offense.
Right. That's when you get it called against the defense.
5 yards, second down.
And that'll put it down to the 44-yard line. 2nd and 1 now for the Bulldogs. 10:56 on the clock. Jumbo formation to the right. Tomlinson will be on the quarterback keeper, and he just moved
found
the
a
pile
seam.
down to the 35-yard line. Move the chains. 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
Nice 10-yard pickup for the quarterback.
And Tomlinson's going to stay in. It's Tomlinson and the Bulldozer, Kristen Bowman in the backfield. Jumbo formation to the right. And it'll be the Bulldozer over the right side. Moving the pile. Still moving the pile. Down to the 30-yard line.
That's why they call him the Bulldozer.
Gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 now for the Bulldogs. Tomlinson's going to stay in at quarterback. Jumbo formation to the right once again.
Cam Harris is back in. Cam Williams, rather.
Tomlinson on the quarterback keeper. He's going to get a couple. That's going to bring up 3rd and 2. 9:40 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. Pottsboro up 21-14.
The Bulldogs are driving.
Staying with this jumbo formation to the right-hand side. This will go to Williams. And he's going to be wrapped. Well, let's see if he can get out of that. No, he's going to be wrapped up. They'll give him forward progress.
Yeah, because he's still not down.
He's at the 29 is where they're going to have him marked. So that's going to bring up 4th and a decision on what to do, and they're going to leave Tomlinson in at quarterback. Amron Bruce is coming out on the field. See if they go with that jumbo formation again on the right-hand side. And they will.
Yes, they do.
That is Hayden Ray over there, leaving the big man in. Bruce comes out. This is a little jump pass. And it's complete to number 9, Anthony Flannery. That's going to move the chains. 1st and 10, or 1st and goal now, Bulldogs. Here's the replay. Boy, he was just wide open. Everybody bid on that quarterback keeper.
Right. The jump pass, so effective.
1st and goal now from the 7-yard line. Tomlinson remains at quarterback. He's going to keep it over the right side. He's got
inside
room.
the 5. Where did he?
Down to the 2 is where they'll have him marked. 2nd and goal for the Bulldogs. 8:05 remaining in the 3rd. So the Bulldozer comes in. Kristen Bowman, number 21. Tomlinson stays in at quarterback. Keep the big guys in on the right-hand side. This will go to the Bulldozer.
They're pushing the pile. Where is it? Down to the 1.
He might have got a yard to the 1. Bring up 3rd and goal now for the Bulldogs.
Bowman gains to the 2-yard line. Make it the 1, 3rd down and go.
Stay with that jumbo set to the right-hand side. Hayden Ray and Travis Harris Jr. in tight. This is Tomlinson on the keeper. He's going to have to make a move. And they've got him wrapped up back at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, they just blitzed that right side of the Bulldog line. Where are they marking? On the 2.
They got him at the 2. So 4th and 2 with 6:50 on the clock. Cameron Williams back in. Tomlinson at quarterback.
Yeah, they've got 11 men in the box.
And it's fumbled, but Tomlinson has it going around the left side.
And he is in.
we do have a flag. A late flag comes in. I believe that's going to be a hold. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, let's see if we can see anything here on the replay. Yeah, a bad snap, but he picks it up.
I didn't see.
I didn't see anything.
Maybe a blindside block.
We're waiting for the referee's call.
Blindside block
There you go.
on the offense. It'll be 15 yards, previous
Oh, well, that's going to be
That's a killer.
a killer on 4th down. That's going to put the ball back at the 17-yard line. 4th and goal for the Bulldogs.
Tomlinson still in at quarterback. And they are running the offense.
They're going to stick with that jumbo formation on the right side. Chris Love is split to the right. Cameron Williams in the backfield with Tomlinson. Drops back to throw. He's going to go to Love down the right side, but that's intercepted in the end zone. Just kind of a high floating pass from Tomlinson. Had to be a touchback, and that's going to turn the ball over. Pottsboro 1st and 10 with 6:31 in the third. So a big penalty against the Bulldogs.
Right.
On a blindside block that negates the touchdown.
Yeah, I keep saying minimize mistakes. And that was a big one. First off of a bad snap where the snap was fumbled. So here comes the Bulldog defense.
Humphreys with a quick pass over the left side, incomplete. That was number 10, Carson Butcher, with the drop. Brings up 2nd and 10 now for the Cardinals. Twin receivers on each side of Humphreys. He's going to have Major McBride in the backfield with him. Quarterback keeper, and they got him wrapped up quickly. No gain. Ball still at the 20-yard line. Bring up 3rd and 10 now for the Cardinals.
It's back to the line of scrimmage. Short of 3rd down and 10.
Actually short of the 20. 3rd and 10's calling it.
Trying to draw him off.
Here's Humphrey dropping back to pass, and he's under pressure, and he
Throws
gets
it.
the
Oh.
pass away over to McBride, and he has got some open field.
The last thing we wanted to see.
And he will be brought down by Moose Carter inside the 10-yard line. So pretty much a busted play turns into a big gain for the Cardinals.
Right. He was out in the flat, wide open.
Couple of missed tackles. Good block downfield. And this is McBride going around the left side, and he's going to be in for the touchdown. 5:17 on the clock, and McBride takes it 10 yards for the touchdown. That's going to bring out number 44, Connor McDonald, for the Cardinals for the extra point try. Snap, the kick is up, and it is good. So Pottsboro takes a 14-point lead over the Bulldogs in the third quarter, 28-14.
5 minutes, 17 seconds left in the third quarter.
Greg, a big turn of events, you know, with a touchdown called back on a penalty.
Right.
And a busted play on 3rd and 10 turns into a huge gain.
70 yards.
And then the 10-yard run from Major McBride for the touchdown. So it's all Pottsboro so far in the third quarter.
Right.
Bulldogs need to answer here and get a swing in momentum.
Yeah.
Moose Carter will be deep for the Bulldogs. McDonald will have it teed up for the Cardinals.
Yeah. Got to eliminate the mistakes now.
And here's the kick from McDonald. This is going to be into the end zone, be a touchback. So it'll be 1st and 10 Bulldogs with 5:17 remaining in the third quarter. Pottsboro up 28-14. And see if the Bulldogs can come out and answer. First and 10 from the 25-yard line. Tobias Taylor is back in at quarterback with Cameron Williams in the backfield. Hand off to Williams around the left side. He's got some room, cuts it back up. Out of bounds across the 40. We're right at the 40. So that'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Move the chains.
And that puts Cam over 100 yards for tonight. 107 yards on 16 carries.
Taylor in the gun. Hand off to Williams up the middle. Squirts through to the 46-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 4 now for the Bulldogs. Under 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And there's should be a flag.
There is.
Cameron Williams just picked that ball up and threw it to Chris Love, trying to make something happen. It's a free play, might as well. But once again, the defense jumps across into the offensive line.
And that is a first down by penalty.
Move the chains. 1st and 10 Bulldogs, 4:38 on the clock. Ball goes across the 50 to the 49-yard line of Pottsboro.
Well, just remember, this game is not over.
Another fumble. Taylor picks it up. They're just having trouble with the exchange.
Right.
That goes back to the 49-yard line of the Bulldogs. 2nd and 12 now. And I'm not sure it's the handoff. It just looks like they're running into each other.
Right. You've got to know where you're going.
Taylor
Which
drops
side?
back to pass. Oh, tip and caught by Chris Love at the 45-yard line. Almost intercepted.
Yes, it was. That wet ball slipped through the defender's fingers right into the hands of Chris Love.
They're going to mark him at the 43-yard line.
6-yard pick. An 8-yard pickup.
So 3rd and a long 4 now for the Bulldogs. Hand off to Williams around the left side. Now cuts it back up to the middle, down to the 40. He's going to be short of the first down by a yard. That'll bring up 4th and 1 now for the Bulldogs. Offense stays on the field.
They are going for it.
Moves Williams to his right. This will go to Williams, and he's going to have to do something.
It's close.
I don't think he made it. He's going to be short.
The referee has not got his foot out far enough.
That's going to turn the ball over on downs to Pottsboro with 2:54 remaining in the third quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 Cardinals from the 39-yard line. Actually, between the 39 and the 40. 39 and a half.
Once again, it's very close. But they didn't get it.
So McBride will be in the backfield alongside of Caden Humphrey, the quarterback. Handoff to McBride over the left-hand side.
He made the corner and got about 8 yards.
Patriots drive with carry.
No, looks more like 7.
Out to the 46-yard line.
He's out to the 46-yard line. 2nd and 4
Second down, 4.
for the Cardinals.
And that carry 7-yard gain puts him over 100 yards rushing tonight.
Oh, a fumble. And he's under pressure, and he got on top of it, but he is back to the 37-yard line.
And it's time for them to make those kind of mistakes. It is a wet ball. The mist is a little bit heavier than it was at halftime.
Brings it a 3rd down and 13.
3rd and 13 now for the Cardinals. Let's see if they put this in the air or going to keep it on the ground. And Humphrey's going to drop back to pass. He's got short pass over the middle, is incomplete. That's going to bring up 4th and 13 for the Cardinals with 1:38 remaining on the clock in the 3rd quarter.
It'll be 4th and 13.
And the punting unit is coming on for the Cardinals.
Back deep for the Bulldogs will be Chris Love and Moose Carter. Connor McDonald on for the Cardinals to handle the punt. And we've got a timeout, Pottsboro. That's their first of the second half.
Evidently they're going to talk it over and decide if they want to try something. So the Bulldogs are going to have to be watching out for something.
So, Greg, you know, the last drive, 4th and 1, and Bulldogs just came up short. Couldn't get anything going.
Right.
Keeping it on the ground with Cameron Williams. And
yeah, the Cardinals defense has been able to anticipate a couple of running plays and, you know, stop the Bulldogs in some critical situations, just like down at the goal line previously.
Carter is back for the Bulldogs, standing at his 25-yard line. Yeah. And getting a little pressure on the punt. And it takes a Pottsboro bounce inside the 15 to
Down
the
to
14-yard line of the Bulldogs. It'll be 1st and 10 with 1:24 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Pottsboro up 28-14 over Jefferson. Bulldogs need to get something going on this drive and try to shorten the gap.
Right, it's time to score. With 1 minute and 24 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, this game is not over.
Handoff to Williams around the left side, looking to bounce it out. And he's just going to get back to the line of scrimmage, so nothing doing on that play.
Now they pursued and kept him from making the corner.
2nd down 10.
Running out of bounds stops the clock with 1 minute 17 seconds left in the 3rd.
Second and 10 for the Bulldogs. Taylor in the gun. And hands off to Williams up the middle. Spins to the outside, but nothing doing again. No gain on the carry. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. 3rd and long for the Bulldogs, under a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Taylor drops back to pass. Rolling her out to the right side.
He's got some room to run.
And he's going to be spun down for no gain. So 4th and 10 for the Bulldogs. Just nothing open downfield for Taylor. If anything was open, it was too deep for him to throw.
Right.
And, you know, that comes back kind of on the receivers, because once they get to a point, they've got to know if
You've
that
got to know to
quarterback's
come
in
back
trouble,
to the quarterback.
come back and help him out for a shorter throw.
Right. That's one of the things that they teach. Come back to the quarterback.
So Dominic Rivers will be out to punt for the Bulldogs, but that is the end of the 3rd quarter. Pottsboro with the lead, 28-14.
Down to the concession stand. There's a few hamburgers left down there. Go down and get you one while right there.
Over the
At
Bulldogs.
concession stand on the north end.
So we are going to take it into the 4th quarter. And see if we can get something going. But you're going to have to get the ball back from the Cardinals to get anything done.
Pull it back.
So it's going to be Dominic Rivers kicking off, or handling the punt for the Bulldogs.
Just leave it out there. We'll buy a new one. We'll buy a new one.
And a couple quick scores from around the area. Grandview over Fairview, 20-3. Winsboro and Atlanta still tied up in the 3rd, 14-14. And Paradise over Vernon, 29-7. Malakoff over Maypearl, 28-0 at halftime. So here comes the Rivers kick, a high snap, but he gets it off. Good kick down the right side. Gets a good Bulldog bounce inside the 25. And that's where they're going to mark it. 1st and 10 Cardinals at the Cardinal 25-yard line as we start the 4th quarter.
1st and 10 Cardinals.
First round playoff game for the Bulldogs. We are in Paris, Texas at Wildcat Stadium. Rainy night, cooling off. So 1st and 10. Caden Humphreys, the quarterback for Pottsboro. Major McBride is by his side. And this will be a quarterback keeper, no gain. Met by Travis Harris Jr.
Taylor on the keeper.
Yeah, the Bulldogs need a 3 and out here.
Yeah, we need to stop this drive quick and get the ball back and get something in the end zone.
Right.
2nd and 10 now for the Cardinals from the 25-yard line. Hand off to McBride over the right side, and he's got plenty of room.
And he is gone.
No one's going to catch him. That's 75 yards on the carry for Major McBride.
Yeah, watch this replay. He's able to break it outside. The offense had the blocks to seal it off.
And that was the man we talked about that we had to contain.
Right. And like I said, when your offensive line is able to seal off the route, just seal up the corner there. And a big guy gets a head of steam like that.
Yeah, it's hard to stop.
Nothing you can do.
And they muff the snap. He's looking for someone to throw to on the extra point attempt, but now there's the pass, and it is intercepted. So no good. And that's going to put the score Pottsboro 34, Jefferson 14.
And a flag on the play.
We'll wait for the call, see what that was all about.
Extra point is no good. We have a personal foul. Number 15, unnecessary roughness. That will be access against Pottsboro on the kickoff.
Okay, a unnecessary roughness foul. They're going to walk it off on the kickoff. So most likely they're going to end up kicking off from the 25. We're going to wait and make sure that that's what they do.
So 11 minutes on the clock. It is Pottsboro 34, Jefferson 14.
And the referee steps it off from the 40 just to show that he has marked off the penalty. Giving Jefferson a chance to get some good field position for this next drive. Eliminate the mistakes.
And Connor McDonald will have it teed up at the 25. Moose Carter, Amron Bruce, and Jermaine Hopkins Jr. back for the Bulldogs. Looking at the flags, a pretty good breeze coming across the field. And here comes the kick from McDonald. Up into the wind. Judson Carter takes it at the 39. Across midfield, or right at midfield, it'll be brought down. It'll be 1st and 10. Bulldogs from the 50-yard line. Well, Greg, if we're going to do anything, this is where we need to get it started.
Right.
Because we're at 10:54 remaining in the game.
So you can't mess around. You've got to come up with 3 scores and make the extra point on each one of them.
Yeah, 20-point lead by Pottsboro at the moment.
And this is a short field for the Bulldogs. A chance to get something going quickly here.
Taylor hands off. It's going to be a reverse. Chris Love makes a move, but he is under pressure, and he's going to lose yardage. He's going to lose 4 yards on the carry.
Yeah, they had a man get into the backfield, and that messed everything up.
So 2nd and 13 now for the Bulldogs. Taylor drops it once again, picks it back up, looking to throw. And Jermaine Hopkins, it's complete. Let's see where they get down to the 42-yard line. It's going to be short of the first down, but it shortens it up a bit. That's going to bring up 3rd and short now for the Dogs. 10:15 on the clock. 3rd and a short 3. Taylor takes the snap, hands off to Williams. Williams with
He's
a head
got
of
the
steam.
seam.
That'll be a 1st down Bulldogs down to the 30-yard line. I'm telling you, Greg, he took that handoff in just full steam.
Right.
Right up the middle. .54 and counting in the game. 1st and 10 Dogs from the 30. Taylor looking to throw, rolling around the right side. Now he keeps it up the middle. He's got some room. He's going to be across the 20.
He breaks the tackle and gets into the open
He's
field.
got a block.
And that's...
Let's wait. I don't
Chris
see
Love is
there
calling
it is.
it.
There it is. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
30 yards. Tomias Taylor keeps it himself with 9:31 on the
Gets to the
clock.
pylon. Gets a foot inside the pylon. That equals touchdown. Now, this extra point is important. We can't afford to miss any extra points here. But they did get a quick touchdown.
Tobin Tomlinson will be the holder. Dominic Rivers the kicker. Snap. Kick is up, and it is good.
That's how you do it.
So that shortens the gap. Pottsboro 34, Jefferson 21.
Now, that drive came as after a kickoff because they scored. It's time for the defense.
Yeah, defense has got to come out and get a quick stop, and we need to get the ball back and score again quickly.
Right. A 3 and out is the best medicine for what ails Jefferson right now.
In the past few kicks, Rivers has put it in the end zone. So what do you think? Maybe time for that little pooch kick? See if something can come out of that? Maybe just try and do something here.
It depends on how they play it.
That wind is still pretty strong. Flags are standing straight out. And yeah, Pottsboro expecting something. They're going to just send one deep.
Yeah,
That's
they've got their hands guys right up on the 50, and then they've got another line just right behind him, and that he did get it. He had a little trouble handling the ball, but he got it.
So Pottsboro will take over 1st and 10. Looks like the 47 or 48, be the 48-yard line. 1st and 10, Pottsboro. 9:29 remaining in the game.
So it's time for a 3 and out.
3 and out or a turnover.
Yeah, turnover would be even better. A pick 6.
Humphreys the QB with McBride by his side. McBride's been the workhorse of the second half. He's going to take it over the right side, but he's going to be brought down for a loss. Moose Carter in on the tackle. Back to the 46-yard line is where they'll have him spotted. 2nd and 12, Pottsboro.
Yeah, if you're expecting them to run, just shoot the gap through the offensive line, get into the backfield, bring the guy down before he can get up ahead of steam.
Trip receivers to the left for Pottsboro.
Still expecting a run here.
And it's McBride once again, and he stood up and loses yardage. They've got him spotted at the 43-yard line, so another loss brings up 3rd and 15 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, they've been expecting run and getting it. You get a guy shoot the gap through the offensive line, and he's there in the backfield to make the tackle.
Yeah, we got to shut this play down and get the ball back quick. Humphreys looking to throw. It's dropped. That
That's
was
what they
intended
needed.
for number 3, Brady Fulton, and he had the slant end open but dropped the pass.
Yeah, the ball's getting wetter as the night goes on, getting hard to handle.
4th and 15 brings out the punt team.
Jefferson is encouraging his players, get in position.
8:14 on the clock.
Got to watch for a fake here. They ran one once already tonight. They may well think they can do it again. Got to watch that snap.
Moose Carter will be back deep for the Bulldogs. He's standing at the 32-yard line. McDonald on for the punt for the Cardinals. And the kick is up and away. Need to get out of the way. And it touched a Cardinal player. Let's see. That needs to be moved up. I thought it touched him about the 37 or 38 yard line, but they've got it marked at the, well, now they're moved. There we go.
They're moving it up. They saw it.
Yeah. 37 yard line. Yeah, that's about where I saw it. I thought they were going to give it to him back at the 33. So 1st and 10 Bulldogs with 8:03 left in the game.
So it's going to be important. Get this ball moving quickly.
Taylor hands off to Williams around the right side. Breaks a tackle across the 45 up to the 46-yard line. Be a yard short of the first down.
But he's so good at keeping his feet.
7:45 on the clock. Bulldogs are going to have to start thinking of moving a little bit faster. Down 2 scores.
Right. When you keep the ball inbounds on a running play, the clock is not going to stop.
Williams takes it up the middle. He'll have the first down. He's still on his feet across midfield.
Now that is going to stop the clock while they move the chains.
Up to the 46 of Pottsboro, so Bulldogs on the move. 1st and 10. Taylor drops back to throw. He puts one up and incomplete, intended for Jermaine Hopkins. And maybe that's a good thing that fell because he threw into double coverage and Hopkins really wasn't open.
Yeah, Hopkins, the one thing he does not have is height.
And we got a
player down. I cannot tell which side.
I think it's a Bulldog down. That's a maroon jersey. I'm not sure who that is. It's Jakiri Johnson. He's back on his feet. He appears to be okay.
Yeah, he's walking it off.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball spotted at the 46-yard line of Pottsboro. We've got 7:04 remaining in the game. Bulldogs trail by 13. And Johnson just about made his way off on his own. He appears to be okay.
Yeah, he's going to walk that one off.
So 2nd and 10. Hand off to Williams. Moves the pile down to the 42-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd and 6 for the Bulldogs. 6:45 remaining. Need to get this first down and keep it moving. Williams. He's going to have the first down if he can make it.
And more.
He's got
more. And touchdown.
Just like that, the beast takes it 42 yards for the touchdown. With 6:33 on the clock.
That's the explosiveness.
Cameron Williams with the quick score. Dominic Rivers on for the ever important extra point try.
And that did actually go quite quickly.
It did. Coben Tomlinson, the holder. Kick is up, and it is good.
We've got us a ball game, folks.
34-28. Pottsboro still with the lead. 6:33 on the clock remaining in the game.
You know, a couple of years ago, we had the game that got us into the playoffs. We were down 2 touchdowns. Was it to, I forget who it was to. I think Atlanta, but I'm probably wrong to say that. They came back, took it to overtime, got it in overtime.
How many yards did you have that touchdown?
I showed 42 yards on
Okay.
that touchdown run. 26 carries, 192 yards for Cameron Williams. Now, here is the biggest defensive series of the season.
And once again, lining up for the onside kick. Possibly.
With a wet ball, it's not such a big risk.
Here we go, and they're going to kick it deep. That's going to be McBride. He's going to let it go,
And if it doesn't make
it
the
doesn't
end zone,
make it. He's
now
going to
he
picked it
picked it up.
Oh, yes. Bulldogs stop him inside the 5. So a little backspin on that pitch and wedge keeps it out of the end zone.
And that is where they needed to pin them. Now, what you do, you expect the Cardinals to run. You try to shoot gaps in the offensive line and stop them for a loss.
6:30 on the clock remaining in the game. We got them pinned back.
And even more important, don't let them have a big play.
That's going to be the key. Stop them here, and
Yeah. You do what you got to do. Shoot the gaps in the offensive line. They've got a lot of men in the box.
quarterback keeper over the right side, and he's going to have it across the 10-yard line. Looks like it's up to the 11.
Let's call that a gain of 7. Make it 8.
So 2nd and 2. Good gain on the first down for Pottsboro.
Yeah. You can't let their offensive line drive you back. You got to stand them up, have somebody shoot the gap. Here we go.
Quarterback keeper once again over the right side. They're going to wrap him up. It's going to be close.
They are marking that.
Yeah, that's a first
He
down.
marked it as a first down.
I think he got exactly the 2 yards he needed. Clock stops while they move the chains with 5:44 and counting once again.
Yeah, this is where they need to just shake off those 2 plays, go right back at them. You know they're going to run, so you shoot the gap and you get them.
Quarterback keeper over the left side, and that's McBride. Actually, the direct snap across the 30. That'll be enough for a first down to the 31-yard line. 5:10 and counting. 1st and 10 Cardinals.
.453 left. And the clock is running.
And that's McBride over the right side. You got to keep him contained inside. And he gets across the 35.
Is that a flag on the field?
It is. Holding. Move him back 10. That'll stop the clock at 4:30. And that's going to move it down close to the 20, about the 21-yard line.
Yeah, make it
1st and 20. Clock has started, 4:25. McBride is in at quarterback, just following them 2 blockers over the right side. Got to keep him contained, and Moose Carter brings him down. Maybe a gain of 3 on the carry.
right.
So, I mean, this is the position for a stop. You know, it's 2nd and long. Just got to keep them contained and don't give up a big play.
Right. That's the biggest key. No big play.
They are up to the 24-yard line. 2nd and 17.
The odds are they're going to run it again.
And Humphrey's back in at quarterback, and he's going to a little reverse. If we can,
Oh,
they
broke
almost
the
had
tackle.
him back there. And he's
Got to
gonna
stop
be-
him.
He's going to be brought down short of the first, up to about the 36. That's going to bring up about 3rd and 5. Boy, I thought we had him back there in the backfield.
Yes, he was able to break an arm tackle and make some yardage. Now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd and 5. We're at 3 minutes remaining in the game, so this is a huge play for the Bulldogs.
Right, the clock is not the Bulldogs' friend.
Got 14 on the play clock and counting.
And they are acting like they're
Yeah,
going to call
probably gonna-
timeout
probably gonna
at
get a
1 second.
timeout.
Yes, they've done it once before. There, they did it.
And we have 2:39 remaining in the game, and it's going to be 3rd and 5 for Pottsboro.
After this timeout.
I mean, you got to get this thing to 4th down, and I don't know. They went for it about that same spot once before and did not get it. So very critical.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough to see if they would go for it on 4th or if they're going to punt it away. But we got to stop them on 3rd. That's the key.
Right. You have to stop them here. No matter what else you do, they are trying to milk the clock now. They're going to run it again. It was unfortunate that we were not able to get that stop in the backfield on the reverse. But here come the Bulldogs out of the huddle.
So a crucial 3rd and 5 coming up. Bulldogs need a stop.
And the umpire gets out of the way.
And they've
Here
got
we go, 3rd and 5.
They got McBride back here. He's just
Take
going to
the
run
snap.
it behind these 2 blockers over the right side. Need a stop. And I think he got the first
They
down.
pushed him out of the way.
1st and 10 Pottsboro. 2:34 on the clock. You have this spotted at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10. And this is where they're going to start milking some clock. And we've got all 3 timeouts remaining.
Defensive substitutions for the Bulldogs.
So
and
I
a
imagine,
running play for the Cardinals.
I imagine we're going to start using some timeouts after this play.
Yeah, they have no choice. It's going to be a run to the right with McBride taking the direct snap.
And he's going to slide to stay in bounds.
Looks like he picked up 4
And
yards, 5 yards.
Coach Jefferson does call a timeout, stop the clock with 1:45. It's going to be 2nd and a long 5, maybe 6 yards.
Call it 6.
For Pottsboro coming up. So you imagine Pottsboro's just going to stay with that same formation that's been working, putting McBride behind those 2 blockers in the backfield.
Right. He's going to run whichever way those 2 blockers are. If they're on the right, he's going to run right. If they're on the left, he's going to run left. And they are just daring us to stop him.
And it's been working for him so far. So
yeah, and the worst thing is right now they're milking the clock. With the timeout called here, the clock will not start until the snap of the ball. 1 minute, 45 seconds left.
And you know, we can get the ball back with time, but we have got to stop them on this series. If they get a first down, that's
a first down would end this game.
That would kill us.
Yeah, because with 2 timeouts left, they get a first down. We can only stop it twice.
Yeah.
And then on that 3rd down play, they'd run out the clock.
So 2nd and 6. And it's going to be McBride.
And
around the
he goes around
side.
the other side and then just
falls, and he's going to have the first down. 1:38 on the clock.
But that was the dagger.
First and 10 for Pottsboro. Clock has started with 1:30 remaining.
You know,
And
the clock continues to roll. 1:14. And right, the Bulldogs are not using their timeouts.
McBride just going to kneel on it, keep the clock running. Under a minute now, and Jefferson will stop the clock, use another timeout. Ball is back to the 48-yard line.
Please put 102 on the clock. 102.
And let me see if I got any updates on some other scores. Grandview's over Fairview in the third, 20-3. Malakoff over Maypearl, 42-0. Winsboro goes above Atlanta, 21-14. And Paradise over Vernon, 42-7. And Bushland, 59 over Brownfield, 59-13. So we've got 102 on the clock. And it is second and long, but Jefferson only has one more timeout.
So here come the Cardinals, expecting them to simply down it.
Yeah,
Nope, he's going to run it. And
he'll just slide down at the 25-yard line. Just tacking on some extra yardage to add to his stats. That's Major McBride. Once again, he's been the workhorse.
yeah, he's
for
got
the
24
Cardinals.
carries for 239 yards and 3 touchdowns. And that is the last timeout for the Bulldogs.
And you know, you can hope for a turnover. You know, they do
Fumble,
that. Yeah.
right? You get you're still taking it in the shotgun. Snap that slips out of somebody's hand, pick it up and run it.
Yeah. I imagine from here on out they're just going to take a knee, but you've got to handle that snap.
Right. You still got to handle that snap.
We've got 52 seconds on the clock. It's 1st and 10, Pottsboro. From the Jefferson 26-yard line. And Major McBride will be in the backfield. He's been handling the snaps. And he takes a knee once again.
And we're getting a little extracurricular activities there.
And they may, yeah, there's going to be a 2-second difference in the play clock and the game clock.
Yeah, there will be one more snap. And then the season will be over. Unless there's a miracle here.
There's the snap, and he's going to take the knee, and that's going to do it. 22 seconds on the clock and running. It is going to be Pottsboro 34, Jefferson 28. It's going to be your final score. And that's going to do it from Paris, Texas. Final score, Pottsboro 34, Jefferson 28.
Bulldog fans, we thank you for a wonderful first season of Bulldogs TV.
And Greg, if you've got some totals, you get those going, and I'm going to
I will get them as fast as I can here.
do a quick recap of the scoring summary. And it started with the first possession from Pottsboro in the first quarter, 10 minutes remaining in the First quarter, it was Caden Humphrey to Carson Boucher for 26 yards through the air. And Connor McDonald added on the extra point, made it 7-0 Pottsboro. Then in the second quarter, it was Tamias Taylor to Jermaine Hopkins Jr. for 28 yards. PAT by Dominic Rivers was good. It was tied at 7-7. Then with 9:10 in the second quarter, Coben Tomlinson goes 8 yards on the quarterback keeper. Dominic Rivers with the PAT, 14-7 Jefferson. Then in the second quarter with 6:34 on the clock, it was Major McBride for Pottsboro going 27 yards. PAT was good. It was all tied up 14-14 at halftime. Then in the third quarter, it was all Pottsboro. 11:39 on the clock. It was Caden Humphrey going 18 yards, and the PAT was good. Pottsboro goes up 21-14. Then 5:17 in the third quarter, it was Major McBride, 10-yard carry. PAT was good, 28-14 Pottsboro. Then we go to the fourth quarter, 11 minutes on the clock. Major McBride goes 75 yards. The PAT was no good, 34-14 Pottsboro. Then Jefferson tries to get back in it with 9:31 on the clock. Tamias Taylor goes 30 yards. The PAT by Rivers was good. It was 34-21 Pottsboro. Then with 6:33 remaining in the fourth, Cameron Williams, 42-yard carry. PAT by Rivers was good, and that made it 34-28 Pottsboro over Jefferson, and that was the final. And Greg's working on the stats. He's going to have those shortly.
Just a few seconds here.
We're wrapping up this first season of Bulldogs TV. And I want to thank everybody involved that helped us out with it. And hopefully be back again, bring you Bulldog football next year.
Right. Okay. Very quickly, the Bulldogs were 7 for 14 through the air, 105 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, the Bulldogs had 42 carries for 251 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Cardinals were 7 of 15 through the air for 178 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, 41 carries for 296 yards and 4 touchdowns.
And Bulldog fans, that's going to do it for us in Paris, Texas.
It has been a wonderful season, and it is a shame that it is ending so early. But the offensive weapons are all coming back next year.
Yeah, we'll be looking for some good things happening next year from this Bulldog football team.
Yeah, just eliminate mistakes. We had some crucial mistakes, especially that fumble to start the second half that one play later turned into a touchdown.
So that's going to wrap it up for us here in Paris, Texas. I'm Bobby Lang-Bartels.
I'm Greg Ingraham.
Thank you and good night.